basically, they were heading to the old temple where they were going to get the last piece, and where Laocoon was going to be a god.
I'm a god!
A pathetic one on that. But anyway, soon enough, basically, soon as Terry and the friends show up, of course, there would be goons in the way, like usual. As Terry would go up, who would go in Terry's way? Johnnin.
Mm-hmm. And of course, with a little bit of effort, Terry beat Jammin.
Actually, if you paid attention to the scene right there, Johnnin actually let Terry win.
I know that, but it still took some effort on his part, to be fair.
Yeah. Though Johnnin knew what his rights was wrong because of how Laocoon was acting and how he was been.
In short, Johnnin had a conscience unlike the other two.
Pretty much, because they were just gonna kill regardless.
Well, to be fair, Pandy showed a bit of a conscience herself, but ultimately decided to follow, Laocoon regardless. So she was just, sticking to her loyalty. Can't fault her for that.
No, I can't. Soon enough, basically, Terry was able to reach the area, but it seemed a bit little too late because Laocoon got the powers he needed, and he was a god in his eyes. Even though his armored god suit looks a bit fucking ridiculous, if you ask me.
You're not wrong.
I see many armor-like gods, and that is not one of them, people. That is not an armor guard in my eyes. That just looks like a skin-tight suit.
It basically turned into a 4-on-1 fight between Laocoon versus Andy, Joe, Mai, and Terry. But the fight's just not going well, to say the least.
No, they really put in their best efforts, but not many of them were so good as well. But soon enough, because of that whole second... But soon enough, things were getting worse and worse by the second, and Andy had to help Joe, and Mai actually had to help Andy because they remembered they were a team, because Terry would have died if it wasn't for Mai trying to help up in the last second.
Yep, that and Celia's interference actually was a bit of a godsend, no pun intended.
Basically, that whole psychic link between brother and sister, it's kind of very similar for this situation because...
It was super protecting from Laocoon's stupidity.
Mm-hmm. Basically, Celia stabbed herself in the arm to help Terry win the battle. Because apparently, like in Hellboy 2, that whole brother and sister thing is actually existing where if one of them feels pain, so does the other.
Which I find completely bullshit.
She says that because soon enough when Terry pulled Terry basically... Here's the thing, Laocoon was going to actually kill his own sister since he got all the pieces. He didn't give a shit because he thought he would survive Osam Rising. Well, he did survive, but anyway, what happened was he basically was going to blow her up with an energy blast. Terry pulled the Piccolo standing in the way.
Only, unlike Piccolo, Terry survived.
Yeah, Dragon Ball Z is racist to Namekians.
Yeah, you're
anyway.
not wrong.
Anywho, back to the movie. Soon enough, Terry was able to do a powerful Buster Wolf to break off the arm of Laocoon because at Sulia's request, she didn't ask him to kill him. She just asked him to save him.
Yep.
And that's what.
Something that
and that's what Terry did.
Something that should be noted from what Celia says early on in the movie: if Laocoon were to assemble the armor together, he would be risking being possessed by the power of Mars.
Which he kind of was, if you think about it, because soon enough after... Oh, and you're wondering how he was able to break through the armor piece? Celia stabbed herself in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
It was the only way. Which got Crossy more mad.
Pretty much. Crossy, to be fair, unlike the first movie, the second one had more of a purpose.
You mean third one?
Right.
Laocoon did fill with regret as soon as the armor came off, realizing what he had done to his sister and everything. And soon enough, Terry was holding her in her arms. Celia was giving some parting goodbye words to them all, and Terry and Celia
also revealed...
giving them a... Hang on a sec.
Okay.
Gave him the good old kissing that Crossy was happy about because nothing was blocking the scene that way that time. Frickin' smooch. But
Shut up. Let me have a moment.
No.
Yeah, you're. But soon enough, not everything was too peaceful because the armor started to mend into a big old fiery physical thing of like what might have been Mars or some shit.
What actually happened was when Terry broke the armor, it was turned into 4 coins, which then came alive and absorbed itself into the statue of Mars, making it, come to life. Because that's the
Pretty
thing,
much.
apparently.
This is why I don't mess with artificial, creepy, magical power bullshit artifacts. Because shit like this could happen. But anyway, they weren't sure how, but as soon as he was about to blast them again, Laocoon got in the way, he got vaporized. And basically, they weren't sure how they're going to handle this, but soon enough, Terry just had enough. He really had enough. He basically was glowing with, like, energy. I almost want to say Ultra Instinct bullshit magic going on here.
Actually, there was an explanation behind that, too.
Yeah, okay.
Celia gave up the majority of her life force to Terry when she died. So there was actually an explanation behind that one.
Though it looked like Terry cried blood in the moment there, but soon enough, Terry was fighting with pure energy against pure energy. Well, energy against energy in a way.
Yep.
But because it was... So basically, in the end, it was the most epic battle you could see for going on between those things. And, well, you could say Terry killed a god in his way.
Yep.
Which is surprising.
Not like a wannabe god at that. Like, apparently an actual god. Because that's the thing.
Yeah, it wasn't... Not like in a physical, like, form of him, just mostly like of energy of flames of a god. Yeah. But, yeah, he killed a fucking god. Maybe you should take fucking notes, DBZ. Anyway.
Of course, what happened to Laocoon? Surprise! He actually sacrificed himself to save Mai.
Actually, I think I mentioned that earlier.
Did you? Oh well.
Yeah, I said Laocoon got vaporized earlier when he was trying to protect them all.
Yeah, but mainly because Mars decided just because I'm gonna target Mai, because fuck you.
I think it was I don't know. But
No,
either
it was
way,
Mai. That much I remember.
Yeah, but soon enough the castle crumbling was going down. And soon enough Terry just did his good old hat throw. Not saying it okay this time though, but he left and that ended the movie there.
Pretty much.
Abs and all.
Yep.
And that was Fatal Fury the motion picture.
Alright, so any favorite characters this time around?
Well, let's start with Crossy. Crossy?
I think you already know.
Yeah, Celia Montana.
It's Celia, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why.
What about you, Hazard?
Honestly, Joe Higashi's still a favorite of mine, but I'm not gonna lie. I actually have to give him the top favorite this time to, surprisingly, Jammin. Because he showed a lot of character development, and he showed there was more to him than just being, one of Laocoon's thugs. He actually, he actually had, like, he had more of a conscience than the other two. So I actually have to give it to Jammin on this one this time.
I'm still sticking with Terry on this one, because he just shows what full potential he has as a person, and how he was able to pull in the end. But, for least favorite characters, I think we could say a few, like Laocoon's definitely one of them.
Yeah, nobody likes Laocoon.
Nobody likes corn.
But yeah, if it came down to favorite character overall, like, don't get me wrong, Joe Higashi's still one of my top 3 easily. But, like I said, Jammin just takes it this time, with Terry being in third. Again, this is mostly because of the character development.
Yeah. But, I will say this movie has been fantastic and wonderful for all of it. So after reviewing all 3 Fatal Fury movies, Legend of the Hungry Wolf, A New Battle, and the motion picture, I think it's time to, as the usual question for the Fatal motion picture is, does it still hold up? Absolutely.
It may have been made in the early 90s, but it's still a kick-ass movie.
Yep.
Still hold up for us.
It's been almost.
But now
it's been almost like 30 years since the movie came out. Like roughly a good 25 to 30 years since the movie came out. It's still good.
Mm-hmm. So we watched all 3 movies, and y'all in the comments can participate in this if you watch the movies we reviewed. But out of the 3 movies we reviewed, which one's our favorite one we reviewed or watched so far?
That's a tough one, to be honest.
I'd say the first and third one.
If you had to pick one, which you're leaning more towards?
The third one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
motion picture was great. But
That's
yeah,
a tough one for me.
yeah, because The Hungry Wolf, The New Battle, and the motion picture, they're all great Fatal Fury movies.
I honestly am leaning towards the third one, but here's the thing. If it weren't for some of the scenes in the second one, I would have also been in favor of it as well. Like, okay, like here's what I'm saying. Like, for example, with the second movie, I loved it, basically, but that one kid in the second movie was kind of a detraction for me because he barely did anything of real importance. Like that kid Tony, he barely did anything of real importance, so that was a slight detraction for me on that one.
It's Tony.
But overall, I do enjoy the movies, but the first movie was definitely a winner for me as well. Honestly, the third one just barely wins out for me, just barely, because of the sheer character development and the continuity from all 3 movies.
Yep. For me, it's definitely the motion picture. I love them all. They're near to dear in my heart. But the motion picture just seems to take it from me.
Agreed.
But honestly, when I could rate the motion picture, I would say a 9 or a 9 out of 10 or a 10 out of 10 because I enjoyed it to the fullest.
I would give it an 8.5 or 9 out of 10. Nothing like particularly wrong with it. It's just I feel like in some ways it could have been improved. Don't get me wrong, it's still a great movie, but I feel like there were some improvements that could have been made as well. I blame this largely on the fact that how basically compared to most animation today, the animation, I'm not saying it sucks or anything, it's just that for its time was amazing.
Yeah.
But then again, I guess also some of the minor plot holes. Like, I'm a sucker for a good detailed story. So there's that.
Yeah.
They did do it beautifully though, so thinking about it again, I'd give it a 9 out of 10 for sure.
What about you, Crossy? What do you rate the motion picture?
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a really good movie all around, people. Like I said, this shit is on YouTube. Easily look it up. We could even leave you so wanted so you could watch it. But it's a really good movie. We recommend it. Just watch them in order so you don't get too confused, or watch them however you want, because if you know this first 2 already, then yeah, just watch it in order, which is Fatal Fury, Legend of the Hungry Wolf, Fatal Fury 2, The New Battle, and Fatal Fury, the motion picture. Yeah, this was our first movie review series of 3 movies for one character we were trying to give information about, which is Terry Bogard, because again, he's in French. This was a lot of work, we'll admit, but if you guys enjoyed us watching old retro movies, we could. But if anything, this is a little test in the waters. Let us know if you guys like this, reviewing the old retro movies along with the old cartoons as well. Because, yeah.
We basically have a lot to, like... We have a very long list. Thanks to not just us documenting this shit, but people sending us suggestions. Though, fair warning, guys, we can't really review anything Disney-related for, reasons.
We won't let those fuckers take this land!
And there's certain things we might be able to or not be able to review because of copyright, how most things could be. Depending, certain animes like that.
Like Dragon Ball Z.
We can't really review much in Dragon Ball anything because we're risking a copyright strike from Toei on that one, to be fair. Like, we do have plans on how we're going to handle Retro Warriors, and in the next few months, we are going to have a little anniversary thing coming up for the Retro Warriors.
Yeah.
Seeing as, our first video was back in June 2019.
Correct.
But the way we're going about it, get patience, guys. We're trying our best to, get these done. But
yeah, and
we're... Go ahead.
Yeah, we're really trying our best, but it's not easy to binge watch a series without feeling too tired or getting notes on it. And not only that, sometimes we're very busy in our lives.
I've got my
We
art
try to make-
commissions. Crossy's got her editing. Justin
I got-
has work.
I have got work.
And not only that, I'm not only just doing commissions, I'm doing job hunting as well, so there's that.
Yeah, don't worry. This isn't the end of Retro Wars or anything.
It's just look back there. Look at all these fucking games. I got plenty to work with.
And like
Yeah.
I like we've been saying for the last couple videos now, don't just take our word for it. Check it out for yourself. We also have a decent list of what we're planning to review going forward. We already have at least a decent, like, a set order of what shows we're going to review next, and what ones we're going to be doing down the line.
And we do plan to do a season 2 of Retro Warriors once we figured out with how many more we should do for season 1 of Retro Warriors here. But other than that, and for those who wonder if we plan to have guests again, yes and no. It's not that we don't want to have guests, it's mostly if they wish to join us or if we do feel like asking them. But it's not, we shouldn't really ask them. The only way we do guests is if they want to ask us or if we're going to allow it, because we don't want to have guests every time we do a retro review.
Yeah, because then we're going to have people constantly demanding certain people to either just come in or just come back repeatedly, and it gets really old really quickly. And that's
like for example, if you ask, like if a bridge decides to do a retro review with us after binge watching and shit, and you guys want him back again and stuff, but we'd just be like, that's not the purpose of it. We're here to do reviews and shit.
And speaking of which, I think we already talked to a bridge about that. He said he actually wasn't interested, to be fair. So we're not gonna bug them about it either. So if they say they're not interested, we all have to respect that.
Yeah. Did he say he was or wasn't?
He wasn't.
Okay.
Because
anyway,
he's not a fan of reviewing a series.
That's fine, but if anything, if he wants to join us for a binge watch, that's fine. I don't care.
That goes for anyone else that people suggest as guests, but we're not promising anything. Unless we make an exception, like, it's pretty much just going to be the three of us doing these reviews.
Pretty much. Majority of us three are mostly doing the work. We didn't want to have our guests do all the work.
Yeah, exactly. Because that wouldn't be fair.
No, we're trying to let them enjoy the shows with us. Anyway. But I think we've finished. We need to say what we say, unless there's anything you guys want to pitch in.
No, I'm good. I mean, not much else I can honestly say. I mean, like I said, I enjoyed the movies for what they were. And I'm glad we got all these topics out of the way.
Alright, guys. Well, if that's the case, I'm Justin VA, and these are my lovely two co-workers of Retro Warriors and Comrades in Arms of Cartoons. And this has been Retro Warriors, and we'll see you all next time on the Retro Warriors series. Say bye, guys.
Later, everybody.
See ya, peeps.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We're out!
Woo!
Yep.
Give me some love, dog. Kids WB's got the brand new lineup. Saturday mornings that'll shake you right up. First up, Jackie Chan's traveling round, and brand new Astro Boys in town. Teen Titans rock with a big beat sound. Let me hear you scream Shaolin Showdown. Next up, Pokemon hits with a zing. Then see Ricochet rip in the ring. Yu-Gi-Oh! Always flips for the bling. Last up, Static Shock sips. Let's sing!
Catch all new Kids WB episodes next Saturday beginning at 8, 7 Central and Pacific.
Space. Why was I made? Who made me? And what did they make me for?
Believe in yourself and create your own destiny. Don't fear failure.
For the next time on Retro Warriors.
I love you, whores!